Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Gianna is here today.
Hi.
Woo-hoo. Now we are going to talk about the television show, Dance Moms. What everybody wants to know about. Was it real? Was it fake? Were the competitions fake? Blah, 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 blah. All right, so the very first day, the production company, all these big guys rolled into the studio with cameras and equipment. Now, Gianna was in college at the time, and
I was teaching at the studio 1 day a week, and then on the weekends or
going to
if we had a competition, I would go, things like that, extra rehearsals, but mainly 1 day a week. So I was not there that much, but I was doing routines and doing most of the stuff that you've seen me do on the TV show.
Right. But people don't realize that I did, 50 solos?
Yeah.
Probably. I was there from Sundays like at 10 o'clock in the morning till 8, 9 at night.
Until the dance was done.
Until the dance was finished. You just stayed until the choreography was finished. If I was on a roll, I was on a roll. If I was not feeling it and not being creative and somebody was bothering me, or like some guy was bugging me, I would have a fan kick in everyone's dance at the same time, and I'd have to go back in and take them out.
Which is different because on the TV show, we were so limited with time. It wasn't until the dance was done. It was until the time is up kind of thing. And
some of the kids that were younger had less time on camera than some of the kids that were older. Like Mackenzie had less time on camera with us than Brooke did. So we could keep Brooke longer. So that meant that if Brooke was doing a solo, she was last. She had to go last.
So it was like, here's the music, here's the genre, here's what the dance should be about, go. You have 45 minutes. And a lot of people don't think it was done in real time. Like, we really were.
No, it was done in real time. We had those kids 2 days. Wednesday, so the pyramid, and I tell people this all the time, took 4 hours. 4 hours we stood there in one spot.
Which is a lot of rehearsal time.
Wasted.
Taken up.
Yeah, and that's why I was always so nuts during the pyramid. You know I was. Because in my mind, I knew what else we had to do. What did the mothers have to do?
Nothing.
Go upstairs, sit on their ass, and talk about us. That was it. Talk about me. They didn't talk about you too much, every once in a while.
Yeah.
Let's go back for a second to the music. Somebody at the network or the production company made a really bad deal with a music library. So all the music had to come from this library, and we had this login, passcode, password thing. I never even knew it. And they would give us, they would give you, because I was probably angry with them already and they weren't speaking to me, or I wasn't speaking to them.
I would like try to make light of the situation.
Yes.
But, and if you've ever heard the songs on other TV shows, it's because you have. So it was a lot of music that could be used on all TV or movie or commercials or different things. And most of it is almost, I would say, background music. Or music that would be behind like a really big fight in a TV show. Mm-hmm. Not music that was gonna be for a soloist to win a dance competition.
Right, and now prior to a TV show, in my real life, I used to go, kids, this is the olden days, I used to go to a Blockbuster music store, which was very rare. They only had a few of them. And I would go and I would sit and listen for 8 hours straight. I would listen to music and buy the CD or not buy it. They would open it and let you listen to it, which CD. That's why I drove an hour there. Yeah, to CD. But I had to drive an hour to get to this place. And even in New York City, I would, whenever I was in New York, I would go into a famous music store called The Colony.
I've been there.
Yes. Did I take you there?
No.
Uh-huh. And I would buy cabaret singers that put out their own CDs. And they would do famous songs that were classic, you know, Luck Be a Lady and, you know, the Broadway show tunes, but in a different way, a different arrangement. And then on the way home, on the 5.5 hour drive out of the city, I would listen to those. And then I would be like, okay, this is for so-and-so solo. This is for so-and-so solo. I worked so hard to find music that was different, that nobody used, that told a story that was just incredible.
I think that's why I spend a lot of time looking for music now, because
Aww.
No, I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that every song is for every kid.
No.
And just little things like that, like we said before, these producers would just hand us music and say, make this dance about this and for this person. And we're like, that person would never dance to that music. or that song would never be right for that storyline group piece.
Right.
You know, things like that.
I always wanted music that when you're at the dance competition and you come out on stage, that everybody out in the lobby and the hallway would come running in to see the number, like, what is this? What is this music? You know, that's what I wanted, or something that was just so shocking, the lyrics. I have an amazing piece of music that I found that I did a routine to, and it won everything, and it was Pushing the Envelope, and it was very controversial. And then 10 years later, Gianna was in the group dance, and she was in it, and an integral part. It was a small group. I think there were 5 of you or 7 of you. And they won. 10 years later, did the same music, the same premise, the same story, different costumes, different choreography, but same idea, and they won again, undefeated, her group. And we wanted to use it. That was my senior year. Yeah, and we wanted to use it on the show eventually when the kids were old enough. It was a plan to use it. And yeah, and it's incredible. And there were chat rooms. Back in the day, there were chat rooms.
Yes. There was like a forum, if you will. Before there was, I don't even know now, like all the social media, Facebook is the talk about everything, Twitter. It was like a forum about this group of 6 girls in Pittsburgh that did this dance about this crazy story and wore these crazy outfits. Like people were like talking about it.
They were trying to find the music. Which
doesn't
insane,
exist anymore.
And it doesn't exist because I bought it on a cabaret CD that there were probably 30 burned, and that was it, and I bought it and it doesn't exist. So those are the kinds of things that we did. That's what made me proud to be a dance teacher. That's what I did in Pittsburgh. I pushed the envelope. We went to nationals. We were either in Vegas, Orlando. We were even on a cruise. You know, we did all those things, and I got those kids out of Pittsburgh, and they got to see the world. And through dance and the show, Gianna has been, tell them some of the places we've gone.
Yeah, I mean, I've taught all over the world, and I can't say, you know, without the ALDC or without Abby in the show, that would have never happened.
Oh, that's nice. I mean Paris and London and Ireland and
Australia, all through Australia.
Yeah,
and soon to be Dubai.
Yes, we're going to Dubai. We're ready. Back to the music. So we get handed this horrible music. They email it to her. She knows not even to give it to me. She knows I'm going to lose my mind when I hear the music. Okay.
I'm just like, this isn't danceable. This is like the background of a commercial or something.
Yeah, like a car dealership commercial or something. It's so bad, so bad, so bad. And remember, these are producers. They have never been to a dance competition, never danced. Now, if I was the owner of the production company and I was hiring people to work on this show, the first question that I would ask at their interview was, did you ever dance? Did you take dance class?
I did. So season 8, and I've talked about this, whenever I got to do a little more.
Casting, a little more.
So that summer before season 8, I went into the office a couple of days a week, and they would show me who they liked, and I would kind of dig in and see if the kid could actually dance. Not just, you know, a crazy mom or a hot mom or whatever.
Well, that's what they wanted. The crazy mom and the hot mom. Don't worry about the kid dancing. You can make that work.
So I would go in and say, oh, this kid can dance, or oh, this kid can really dance. We need her. We don't care what the mom looks like, something like that. And as a joke one day, I sat down and I was like, who's danced before? Like anyone in here like ever danced? And they were like this. And I was like, no, really, like did you take ballet when you were 3 or like, you know, you've never tapped before? No one, not a single person in the room. So I'm like, how are you casting dance?
We're not unhappy with the kids that we ended up with because we both put our 2 cents in. However, there were other kids that were amazing that we could have had, and the mothers looked like they were cleaning out the garage when they came. And then there were, you know, some kids that were just adorable and great personalities, and nope, mom was too nice, too nice. How can anyone ever be too nice? So, we get the music, we hate it, we find other music. Sometimes we got lucky.
Sometimes they would be like, okay, like do what you want this week, whatever.
Artists would give us their music free of charge.
That saw the show or watched the show.
Fans.
Or artists that danced even.
Okay, now let's move on to the costuming. At the very beginning, I learned quickly that when I had stuff shipped and we sent it straight to the hotel we were staying at, but we didn't find out where we were going or what hotel we were staying at
They couldn't tell us till like that morning.
That morning.
They probably didn't
we
know.
always thought it was sneaky and that they were trying to keep us, in the dark about it. But now, looking back, I realized that they were just such nincompoops that they didn't know. They were so last minute and so unorganized, they just didn't even know till the last minute where we were going. So they were probably trying to get a deal on the money and not on the rooms, get them for free. So anyway, I learned that if I had something shipped to the hotel we were going to go to, they were intercepting it.
And
like
then the
football.
costume didn't arrive. Uh-oh.
Oh my God, it didn't arrive.
And I'm like, it's on my phone that it's here.
Yeah, and I'm having a nervous breakdown because they didn't arrive yet, and I'm going to the movies tonight, but now I can't because I have to go find other costumes in some retail store. It was crazy. Even TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I used to go in and there'd be like 6 dresses and I'd go and grab them all. Some of the routines on the show that we wanted to do that we begged and we got to do. The reason we begged is because I had the costumes already and they were hanging in the store for a year and we didn't use them and the kids were gonna grow out of them and I was like, we have to do this number. We're doing it. The blue leotards, that turned out to be a really good number. And the reason we did the blue leotards is because I had ordered the blue leotards. And they were there. And I was
Remember the Western piece with those dresses?
That was one of my favorite
Abby
things.
found those dresses downtown LA, I think.
Yeah, downtown LA.
Downtown, and they just hung, and we're like, we have to use these, we have to use these. But if we have something that we like, production doesn't like it. They don't want to do it. Because they don't want us to like it. They don't want us to be happy with the piece. They don't want us to like the piece, like the costumes, like the dance.
But they lost.
God forbid it win.
But we always liked it. Like,
so we finally got to use these dresses, and it was one of the best pieces that we did.
Oh, and the girls looked so gorgeous the way their hair and their makeup, and that was all us too. We were had a blush brush in my hand doing kids' makeup. The temples up here and connecting it. James Charles, I was doing that before you were born. And
but it was also if we wanted to do a piece with a certain costume, it was oh yeah, in 7 weeks we can do it.
We talked about the music, we talked about the costumes. Now let's get into the dancing. Then we're gonna talk about going to competition in our first nationals in Lake Tahoe. So people think that the kids already knew the dances.
Yeah, stop thinking that the dances were pre-made up.
When? When would they have learned those?
I read it.
I got you.
All over. I read it everywhere. They already knew the dance. They already knew the dances. There's no way that could have happened.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you because I was there every minute of every day. She would go without me. I said, don't go. We're not going. All the moms, we're boycotting it. We're not going. They'd all go. I wouldn't go. So we did have class on Monday night. And Monday night was when we were dark. So there was no TV show and the whole crew had the day off. But we didn't have the day off. I was still in the studio. Gianna was still teaching. Other people were in other classrooms still teaching, and the kids were there, most of the kids. So I would have Miss Gianna or one of the other teachers work on something in class.
That could have led to the piece that week, or
right.
Stuff to throw in the piece that week.
Yes, I would have a certain teacher work on jumps, or I myself was doing jumps and turns class, and I would have everybody do this certain combination of saute, arabesque saute, coupe, side aerial, arabesque saute, coupe, side aerial that we would use in the choreography that week. Or maybe some big jump to the floor, something. Maybe some girls could do it and others were struggling with it, so we would work on it in class so they would get it better. And then there were times, a few, that we would actually do a combo of maybe, 64 counts, that
we would just make work with the music we had that week.
You can really make anything work with music.
Yeah. I say that
Gianna's very musical. Her dad is a drummer. Paul is a professional drummer. That's what he does. So she's very musical. I hear the lyrics and the story and the breaths in the music. She's on the counts.
So if you put that together,
we got a winner. Boom. Yes. All right. So some kids were in class to learn those 64 counts. and other kids weren't
Took
in
the day
class.
off.
Took the day off. Or they were doing a meet and greet somewhere and didn't get home in time. Or they got home and were late to school, so they had to make up the work, or couldn't leave the house till the homework was finished. And then there was also one child that got out of school, and she came in the morning and had an acting class, or had a tap class, or had solo choreography, or group choreography. Somebody had to hold the dance together. Now, we talk about this on my YouTube channel, about the favorite. I did a whole video about who the favorite was. You should go watch it. You still think Maddie was the favorite? I can probably state that whoever was gonna go get their kid, bring them, get them out of school, bring them to the studio for a couple hours in the daytime to learn their solo ahead of time or to learn the group ahead of time would be the favorite.
And I just want to say that there were no secret privates. Like every Tuesday at 4:30, it was on the schedule that she and I had a private lesson together. It was for so many years before the TV show that it was just written on the schedule.
Yeah,
Everyone knew about it.
Two privates. And how about Kelly with Brooke? She would always sign up for last. She wanted to be at the end of the day because she knows I would run over with the kid and just keep working for like an hour when it was a half an hour private. Yeah, there's no secret privates, but there was a schedule.
Like you go through the front desk and you pay for the private.
You pay for the private lesson,
and then
you
go
sign
to the
up,
lesson.
and you go to the lesson, and that's how you do it. And some kids either couldn't afford it or they didn't, the time that worked for us didn't work for them. Or maybe they had an after school activity and they couldn't get there at 3 or 3:30 or 4 or whatever. So too bad. Oh wow, shit out of luck, right? Okay, now, if you got out of school and you came early and you learned your routine, that time was taken away from you in the evening because we didn't have to work with you as much because you learned it in the day. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like you were learning it for 2 hours in the afternoon and then you came back at night and we still gave you 2 more hours. No.
It was like, oh, we don't even need you tonight.
That's right.
Like we can just
mark it, run it, just run it.
Like introducing the piece and for TV, telling the audience what you were dancing to, why you were dancing to it, what it was about. Mark through it and then leave.
I would stand there and say, we're gonna do blah, 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 and this is what you're doing. And I would like teach it like the first 8 counts really fast. And they would film that to use on the show. But then we let the kid go and we brought back whoever's struggling and didn't have time to learn the number. And that, did you all watch me talk about episode 1? When I talked for an hour and a half about 8 minutes of a show? It's all right there. It's right there. We told the kids, I don't know if you were there. I told the kids that they are gonna learn a new number every week. You saw Kelly Hyland's face go. Saw those bug eyes popping out, and she was panicked. I can put my right hand up to God and tell you, if those kids had to fly to LA to audition for a television show, the original cast, you wouldn't know their names. Many of those kids would not have come. I guarantee it. Okay, I think some of you watch because we got 1 million views on that. So tell your friends because we need 2 million views on that. All right, so now we're teaching the dances.
There's 3 people in the room over here, 2 people in the room over here, someone dropping something, 50 people walking upstairs.
Chaos upstairs.
Someone running in saying the kids have to be off camera in 13 minutes and 21 seconds.
Yeah, it was insane. And then you all witnessed some, what do I want to call them? Idiot, coming down the stairs, walking into the room to have a confrontation with me. If it's simple and easy and I kind of tell them off and they go upstairs or I say something funny and I get rid of them, do they not know that they're taking time away from their child learning the dance? That's what I thought was so nonsensical about it.
Well, and I also, to add to that, a lot of times you didn't see them learning the dance in real time because that wasn't really controversial, I would say. Like us just going over the counts over and over and over and me screaming 6, 7, 8, 150 times, that doesn't make good TV. So you would only see Abby introducing the dance, maybe you would see me cleaning it for 4 seconds, and then you'd see us like wrapping up on the last day.
Then a whole bunch of footage of getting on a bus.
Yeah. So maybe that's why you would think that it wouldn't have been done in real time, because like I said, like, it wasn't boring to us, but maybe when you're
That's
waiting
creative.
when you're waiting for drama or waiting for someone to yell or Abby to scream or a kid to cry, that wasn't happening in the actual making of the piece.
No, the kids were there to learn.
Yeah.
They were trying to grasp it. They sometimes got frustrated or upset, and
The minute that they did, there was a camera.
There was a camera there.
You know.
So the dance routines, yes? Kick, jump, leap, turn, staging. They're in this corner, they're in that corner. Round off back handspring, cameraman standing there. Doesn't move. A kid is doing a round off back handspring into your face and you don't move. And then this is what really ticked me off. So the kids are in the room. They have 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, to learn the routines. That's it. And we have 2 days to push that information, that artistry, that choreography, that story, the facial expressions into their bodies, right? Then you have all the chaos going on, right? And all we need is a Diet Coke and we're good. Like, that's it. That's all we need.
I'll take one right now.
They need everything. We need a soda and we're good. The costumes we talked about, they don't get to dance in them. Normally, I am at every fitting with the seamstress, going over your costume, making sure the skirt is cut at exactly to cover your bad knees, and this, that, and the other thing, but I didn't get to do that. Those kids threw those costumes on and went out on that stage and danced 2 days later and never had them on before. We didn't know if they fit or not. I mean, it was crazy what we did. And we did over 500
I think more than
numbers.
that.
We're gonna talk about going to nationals. Nationals are coming up. Gianna and I both judging nationals, and we're gonna tell you, a few tips, if you will, on what judges look for at nationals, because it's different than the beginning of the year.
A lot of times also, if you went to the regionals, which you probably had to qualify for nationals, they've already seen your piece. They already are expecting a certain level of whatever they're looking for.
Absolutely, well said. And they've seen it. So the whole
they've seen a whole
shock
season.
value.
They've
and
seen
they've
a whole
seen
season
every
of it.
other kid in every other city.
And they kind of have in their mind who they liked through the season. Oh, I remember that soloist. Oh, this was my winner since the second city. I wish you would have come to more cities or something like that.
Right. My students always excelled in class. So the tap teacher loved them because they were all great tappers.
I was actually at a convention last weekend, and the girl that won was not in my class.
But you weren't judging the competition.
I wasn't judging, but I was teaching. And the girl that won, I was like, this kid's amazing. Where was she in class?
Right.
So I look for that. I look for the kids in class.
And every judge, I do, we look for the talent in class. And
then wait for it at night at the competition.
Yeah, and when you come in a crop top and booty shorts and it's the little ballet teacher, you're not gonna look that great. You know what I mean? So put a little ballet skirt on, put your ballet slippers on, get your hair up, respect that teacher.
Yes.
Yes. And then when the hip hop teacher comes in, you wanna throw a hoodie on, you're fine.
Take the sweatpants off in my class.
Oh my God, how do they see their legs?
Take the socks off.
Yes. We're gonna tell you one more story about
She could go on for days.
Dance Moms, and it's the first season. We're at our first nationals. We're in Lake Tahoe at Starbound. And we've known these people for years. My kids used to compete there, yes. And it's a big, huge stage. It's in a casino, right?
And we make it, and we win the
win.
competition. No, we win the regular competition.
Right.
And then they call 10 numbers to recompete.
Right, but we win. The production company leaves
because
it's a wrap. We won. It's a wrap. We won the little, their division, whatever it was. We were the overall high score junior small group. But all the high scores are going to redance. 10 numbers.
At the gala.
At the big gala at night. In the fancy clothes, in the sequin outfits, in our earrings, in our hair. They're going to recompete 10 top scoring numbers. We're one of them. We're freaking out, kids.
And we actually had a day off because I think they knew we had to do it, but not knowing dance, they didn't think they had to be there.
No. They thought the kids just had to go to classes or something. So there you have it. And guess what happened? We won! We won the whole entire thing, the whole gala.
It was crazy.
It was crazy that these little kids learned this dance in 2 days. We never even had time to work on it, and there they are winning. And the other kids had worked on their routines all year long. Yeah, but there was no one. The two of us were sitting there in our cocktail attire screaming for the kids. That was it. It was nuts. And there you have it.
So that's our national story.
That's our national story. And just goes to show you that you can come out to Hollywood and be in television and not have a clue what you're doing. All right, there you have it. Thank you for watching Gianna and I today talking about Dance Moms and how we got those routines out on that stage, in real time, in costumes, in, well, with better music than we were giving. All right, so like, subscribe, make sure you do that, please. I keep telling kids when I take pictures with them, they have to subscribe. And turn on your post notifications so you know when the next video is coming out. And would you like to see a season 9?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Why not?
Why not? Bye.